Okay, let's start. Good morning. My name is Regina Henschel. Welcome to my presentation of the new XLOOKUP function. I will familiarize you with the features of the function and report on its normalization process at the ODFTC, how to standardize it. The request for this function is 5 years old. That is a screenshot from our Bacilla. It has received a lot of attention, and what you see in the number of people on the CC list, and thus it has got high importance. The developer for this function was Ballaswager. That's there. For those of you who are not familiar with lookup functions, I will briefly describe the purpose of a lookup function. Lookup function is used in connection with tabular data. Such data could have been originally created in the spreadsheet, but can also have its origin in an external database. Accordingly, I also use the terms data record and field here. With lookup functions, the situation is that the value of one field is known, and you now want to determine the value of another field in the same record. In the example, the value ID A28 is known, and you want to get the value of the field region. Here you can see the syntax of the new function. Above it, as it is used in LibreOffice Calc, and below as it will be specified in the ODF standard. The parameter names differ a little bit between LibreOffice and ODF. I will try to use the LibreOffice names here. You can see that in addition to the name of a parameter, the ODF standard also specifies its data type. For example, you see integer to match mode, and it specifies, if applicable, a default value. That is, for match mode, the default value 0. The directive force array means that the parameter is automatically evaluated in array mode when more actual values are provided than the type of the parameter requires. So let's have a deeper look at the parameter list. The parameter can have a square bracket. That means that the parameter is optional. This is very tricky to specify because each of the parameters, result if not found, match mode and search mode, is individually optional. The first proposal we got has it wrong, and we have to look how to get it right. If you omit a parameter in between, you still have to write the semicolon. The parameter result, if not found, is a nice simplification. You no longer need to use an if function to describe what should happen if a value you are looking for does not occur at all. It's here. When you do nothing specifiable, it is omitted, then in such cases, not available error is generated. So now you knew what these square brackets mean, and you are probably wondering how the value to be searched for can be empty. That's here. How can the search criterion be empty? That is something special. It means, oops, it means when we omit this parameter, then you search for an empty cell. Okay. So now we look at the mandatory parameters, that is the search array and the result array. To understand what is special about the XLOOKUP function, we look at the already existing lookup functions. We have already the lookup function, and there the search array is always on the left or at the top, and it depends on the width and height ratio, which one is the search array. And this indirect definition is removed in the vertical lookup and horizontal lookup function, where the search array is always on the left, always on the top. The result array could be that it's always the last one when you use a lookup function, or it is completely separated from the data range in the lookup function. In the vertical lookup and horizontal lookup functions, the result array can be at every place in the data range, and which place to use is given by an index. And the XLOOKUP functions is somewhere something in between. You can put the search array wherever you want, and you can put the result array wherever you want. Only they have they need to have the same size and the same direction. For the ODFTC, there was a problem. How do we name these arrays? You can use the terms array, vector, range, cell strip. At the moment we have this text, we use the term a one-dimensional array because the term array is already defined. However, we are considering to change to the term vector. But for that we need to define what a vector is. Okay. Instead of using a direct cell range as parameter, you can of course use a reference. Here in the screen, on the slides, you see example data on the left, and in the parameter is not given directly, but the search is given as G1, and depending on the content of the cell G1, you can get, if it is Thomas, you get 39, and if it is John, then it is not contained, and you will get the not available error because the if not found parameter is omitted. Using a reference is of course more flexible than using a constant value. The search criterion could, for example, be determined by a drop-down list. Such can be provided by a validity check, as in the screenshot, or by a form control, for example. There exists other methods to make the formula easier to read and maintain. One is what is called structured references in Excel that exists in LibreOffice as well, that uses the field names to reference a part of the data range, but is only available for XLSX formats. And when you are working in ODF format, you can, for example, use define labels for this, and that makes it also better readable than using a direct reference. It is also possible to specify a two-dimensional range for the result array, rather than just one-dimensional array. That does not mean that it is a new type of parameter, but it means that the function is used in array mode. In the example, it means that the XLOOKUP function is calculated for each of the columns A, B, and C, and after you have these values, they are arranged to a result vector. Do you have noticed the curly brackets in the previous example? They tell you that the function is in array mode. On first creation, LibreOffice uses array mode automatically. That is specified in ODF by using the directive force array. When you later edit such a formula, you need to first select the entire area of the formula output, then make your edits in the, for example, in the input line, and finish your edit with Control-Shift-Enter. Excel is a little bit different. It has introduced in the meantime a feature that is called dynamic array, which automatically detects that it is an array function and automatically gets the output area correctly. We have short discussed that in the ODFTC, but we have not really worked on it, how we can specify it, and it is not implemented yet in LibreOffice. So when it comes to implementation in LibreOffice, it would be good to contact the ODFTC to get immediately feedback how to do that. So next is we look at parameter match mode. The first proposal was to use match mode with these four parameters: 0 for exact match, that's the default value; 1 and -1 for an approximate match, and value 2 for wildcard or regular expressions. What does approximate match means? On the left you see the original data range, and on the right you can see the values as an ordered list. This does not mean that the application actually sort the values, but is only intended here to explain to you what approximate match means. We take the example that we are looking for the entry Duncan, and you see on the left side it does not exist. So we have it's not available, and when we have a parameter -1, then the next value below is used for the result. And when we have the parameter +1, the next value above is used. That means approximate. For the ODFTC, there was a question: how need we to specify how it is sorted? We have looked at relevant text as Unicode.org, and then we have decided that at the moment we have neither the manpower nor expertise to specify it directly in ODF. So now the rule is only that the application should sort the data in the same way in all of its lookup and match functions. That is normally an alphanumeric sort, the same as what you get when you use the sort icon on a data range. The alt lookup functions too have a mode for approximate search, but that is very restricted. It requires that the search vector is really ordered, and it needs to be ordered ascending. And the advantage of the XLOOKUP function is that the source data no longer need to be ordered previous, and that you can have not only the approximate +1, but also the approximate with -1. So back to the match mode. There is a question: what does exact match actually means, and how is a distinction made between wildcard and regular expressions? The old lookup functions use a global setting for this purpose. That is a screenshot of the setting in LibreOffice. But however, global settings contradict the goal of good interoperability and ease of use. There are applications that do not evaluate these global settings at all, and it is clear from forum and mailing lists that many LibreOffice users are also completely unaware of them. That was the reason that the ODFTC decided to remove all these dependencies on global settings. We now define that this XLOOKUP function is always not case sensitive. Case sensitive is off, and the setting much applied to whole cell is always on. That does not mean that it is not possible to. You can still use case sensitive search with regular expressions, and you can recognize a match with part of a cell content with regular expressions and wildcards. I will show you on the next slide. The next problem for the ODFTC was how will we describe and distinguish between wildcards and regular expression method. Currently, Excel has no option for regular expressions. However, the ODFTC had a developer from Excel team as a guest in June, and he pointed out to us that a possibility for regular expressions is being created for Excel by means of an additional parameter value. It is not unusual for the ODFTC to have experts as a guest. Balash was also at the ODFTC meeting. So now we decided we make distinct values, one for the wildcard and one for the regular expression. And here's an example of how we can do case sensitive and so on. We are looking for sun as part of a value, and the red part in the search criterion shows how it is written when you use wildcard, and how it is written when you use regular expressions. And below example shows how to write it when you want to search a case sensitive. That is explained in the help of LibreOffice. Links are on the slides. Now we have a closer look at the search parameter. The search mode has 4 values. You can search linear forward. Here in the example, I look up for the word Smith. Or you can look up linear backward. You can make a binary search on ascending data, or you can make a binary search on descending data. Binary search means that you have the amount of data to be searched, and then continue with the half that must contain the value you are looking for. This is done until the part to be searched consists of only one value. That is much quicker. For a data volume of 10,000 values, only 17 comparisons are required, and whereas a linear search requires an average of 5,000 comparisons. You can see in the example that the value Smith occurs twice. As a standard, must also specify which of the 2 values is to be used. And for that, we have specified when you have a linear search, then you take the first match in first direction, and when you have a binary search, you take the first match in direction from smaller to larger value. There is another problem. It is generally not possible to mix a binary search with wildcards or regular expressions. Take the example as shown. When you look for sun at the end of the word, which is a search criterion with an asterisk, when you are in the middle of the data, you cannot decide with which half you will have to continue. So there are 2 possible solutions. You can say forbid this combination, or you can say you have to, the application has to switch automatically to linear search. Perhaps some remember my question on the mailing list. Majority there decides against this automatically linear search, and because Excel does not allow this combination either, the standard is now so that this combination is forbidden. Remark on the standard wording. I have about shall not. That is very special to the language of a standard. You cannot use arbitrary descriptions. Cannot say forbid or is not allowed or may not be. You have to use exact this wording shall not in the standard. This change from forbidden combination makes an additional change required in the implementation in LibreOffice. First was we add a new parameter value for the match mode, and here again, and Balázs was very cooperative in changing the implementation of LibreOffice to get it aligned with the to become specification in ODF. Yes, this example of lookup shows you how important it is for developers to consult with the TC as early as possible on new features, so that changes can be made before the first initial release. So whoever of you make a new feature for LibreOffice, contact us. Okay. Any questions?
So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.